just got back from Panama City, Panama, and I must say, I did not know that city was that nice. I mean, it was parts of it that kind of just felt like I was in Miami. I ain't been to Miami yet, but that's how I feel like it would be if I was in Miami. I only spent 72 hours in Panama City, Panama, but I do think I hit the main parts of Panama City. If you have been to Panama City and you think there's something that I missed or something that you would suggest people do, definitely watch it, call me out on the things I didn't say, and comment below and let me know exactly what I missed. Now, to the trip. The most fun thing to me personally was slightly outside of Panama City. It's a day trip to San Blas, the islands. Oh my God, this place is gorgeous. This place is so gorgeous. It looks like the Microsoft background that you would have like working in a cubicle. It took us 3 hours to get there. We woke up at 5 a.m. to go to San Blas. We had 2 islands that we went to. It was gorgeous, as I mentioned already. The first one was Island Perro, which is called Dog Island in English. And this was a super tranquilo island, super relaxed. There were only about 10 Panamanians there and our group was about 15 people. So you had about 25 people chilling on this island. The World Cup was going on. So they were really watching the World Cup most of the time, which means it was only about 10 to 15 people on this island. And y'all, the water was so blue. The vibes were so smooth. I mean, we were drinking, we put some up in the air. And it's just, you just felt like you were retired and you just had an idea about life. My friend Mariah was saying that she could live there. And I said, nah, I don't think I could live on some little island. Y'all, I got there, I looked around. I saw they had some decent places to stay. And I said, man, hell yeah, I could live out here. Sign me up. Oh my, man, I'll stay out there in the islands. If you do decide to go to San Blas, please know that they do have housing overnight, so you don't have to do what we did and do a day trip. You could actually do like a night or 2 nights there. If I could go back, that's my only regret. It's just I didn't do a night there and then I did a day trip there. So highly recommend San Blas. Definitely check it out. And once you do check it out, let me know how it is. The main tourist attraction that I've read about and that I saw in Panama City is Casa Viejo. And I'm not gonna lie, Casa Viejo disappointed me. It is nice for sure. There's definitely some nice buildings. It gives you like the Europe type of vibes, but it's obviously being gentrified. I think that's super obvious when you walk through the streets because you'll see some really beautiful buildings on one side and then you'll see really shitty buildings right next to it. So it's really obvious what's going on. And in general, I don't like staying in places that promote gentrification and promote moving people out of their homes. Now, with that being said, I would get a couple drinks over there because there are some nice restaurants. I would get some food in that area because there are some nice restaurants. But even beyond the gentrification part, I don't think it's that nice to like stay at overnight. I would much rather stay at Avenida Balboa, but I would recommend Casa Viejo for like a daytime trip. If you just want to go out, get some drinks with a friend, go for some brunch or something like that. But I wouldn't suggest it for staying there just because like you might get a nice hotel and then next to that hotel is a very ugly building and that's your view for the entire time you're in Panama. And I'm definitely not trying to shit on Casa Viejo. Like it's definitely nice. It's some nice parts there. Like maybe I will understand if somebody is new to a country or new to an area, why they would want to stay there. But guys, I'm telling you off of a person that went there, stay on Avenida Balboa. You'll be happier, trust me. Now, another part of my trip that was just very, very playa is my apartment that I stayed at. Shout out my dog, Camry. She is out there living in Panama City and she has a nice apartment. I'm talking about this apartment is on the 49th floor. The hallway is like half a football field long. And I mean, every room is spacious and the view and the balcony, it just felt like I was successful. It felt like I was rich. And imagine waking up to the sun hitting your face and you look outside and that's the ocean. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful apartment. She actually does live there in Panama City, and she did a long-term rental, so she actually only pays $1,200 per month for that apartment. For you guys, if you are going to Panama City, Panama, and you just want to find a place to stay, you could stay at Casa Viejo, but my personal recommendation would be to stay on Avenida Balboa. Avenida Balboa is like that part where I said you might not know if you're in Miami or not, just based off of the landscape. Now the women, that's a whole nother league, because we know what Miami has. But as far as the actual landscape of Panama City, it is beautiful out there. I went running every morning I was there. The walkway, the runway they have is absolutely gorgeous. Imagine it being 6, 7, 8 a.m. You wake up and that's your view when you run every single day. They also have outdoor gyms so you can exercise without having to pay any type of membership. This is super common throughout Latin America too, not just Panama, but it was amazing out there. You can run all the way to Casa Viejo. You also pass a large fish market, which I will get into later as well. But Avenida Balboa is definitely the place where I would say to stay during your time in Panama City. And also on top of the actual walkway and the runway that you have, I mean, those views are just amazing. Like, the skylines that they have are absolutely ridiculous. I would definitely suggest getting as high of a room as you can, like no lower than 25, because they have a ton of buildings that reach 40, 50, 60. So definitely try and get a high rise building and towards the top, just so you can enjoy that view a little bit more. As far as Panamanian food, I feel like it was pretty simple in the best way when I went there. Like, I didn't see anything that was super different from any food that I've ever tried. Now, I had a ton of different places, a ton of different food. My number one spot would have to be my boy Michael. I got like a breakfast taco type brunch, and I mean, the presentation was amazing. The food matched the presentation, and on top of that, he has bottomless mimosas for $20, and he has 3 different flavors. I actually had a chance to meet the owner, Michael. Whenever I have a really good restaurant, I always want to feature the owner just so they can talk a little bit about their restaurant and a little bit about themselves. So here's Michael with his little cameo to talk about his restaurant.
How you doing there? I'm Michael, and also created a business here that's really taken off, and it's based on a couple restaurants. One in New York City and one in Philadelphia. They're called Michael's Restaurants. Somewhere when you come down here, you probably don't see this type of breakfast, and it's become very popular for a brunch spot. And so happy to see so many, the success of this business take off. Be looking forward to seeing you here at Michael's in Panama.
Beyond Michael's, one of my favorite places that I enjoy eating at was the seafood market. So they actually have a real seafood market where you can go and buy fish and shrimp and lobster and all these different types of things from vendors that literally just came from the ocean. The fish market itself wasn't anything that I haven't seen before, but I do think it's really cool that you can see the boats literally right next to the fish market. So you know this shit is fresh. Like, they're going out there every single day and they're coming back with fresh fish. When you're eating this fish and this seafood, you're eating fish that's caught the same day or one day afterwards. Definitely suggest you guys hit the fish market at least for an hour when you're in Panama City. For more local vibes, you also want to check out something called a fonda. A fonda is basically a food stall. That's what they call it in Panama. And this is where you're gonna get your real Panamanian food. So I actually went to a local food stall probably 2 streets away from Avenida Balboa, which is the main street in Panama City. And it was definitely straight local vibes. Even though the food was simple, I tore that shit up, man. I had to get a plate to go too. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If you wanna get some authentic Panamanian food, I would definitely suggest you guys hit a fonda, hit a local spot so you can get some flavor of the country too. Guys, in closing, hope y'all enjoyed Panama City. Hope I showed you guys what to do when you guys go. Definitely going back to Panama. I actually learned about a place called Cologne from my friend Mariah while I was there. And I would definitely be back to visit that because I heard that's where it's like 90% of black people. And if you've seen my YouTube, I love going to places where black people live. So definitely be on the lookout for that. definitely be on the lookout for more vlogs in general. As always, I appreciate the love. If you want to see something from me, comment below. And until next time, peace.